Trustin Begay was just a kid who wanted to become a gangster. However, what he did was wrong, and the consequences were hard on him. He had stabbed someone to death. All this happened on April 6, 2018. Farmington Police received a call that a fight had broken out in a vacant lot. When the police arrived, they found Stephen Begay's body lying on the ground. According to a witness, 2 young men had fled the scene on bicycles. The witness told the police what these 2 guys were wearing. It wasn't long until the police found one of the men who matched the description, and at the time this man was being arrested, he seemed to be heavily intoxicated. He also had small cuts and ripped clothing. Trustin Begay was then brought to the station, where everything went south. At first, he was left in the interrogation room alone. All this while he was acting out, saying all sorts of weird things and names. He started out by drawing on the whiteboard, but when the cops came and took the pen away, he seemed to get angrier.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still on the airhead. Hey. Oh no, I kind of messed up on that. Let me reset then. Y'all don't like it.
I didn't know what that is. I didn't know what you were doing.
Airhead. It's Airhead. Tradition. Navajo Nation.
Okay.
You guys here before me?
Okay, let's see.
He went on like this for quite some time before calming down. Eventually, he asked to be taken to the restroom. Someone came into the room and took him to the bathroom, but by the time he came back, he seemed angrier about something.
You don't need to wash your hands, Bill.
Keeping me dirty and shit. I thought you all fucking keep this shit clean with your fucking faded shit. Where did I go back in here? Nasty as fuck. Keeping my dirty ass hands and shit.
For what seemed like minutes, he kept complaining that he needed to get done with the interrogation because it was taking so long. And eventually, Detective Smith walked in, ready to begin the interrogation. Before the detective started the interrogation, as with all other interrogations, he read the Miranda rights to Trustin. Shortly after being read the rights, Trustin asks to speak with his father. Even though the detective knew that Trustin's father was in the waiting room, he didn't tell him this. The detective played an interesting game because he decided to use Trustin's father to get a confession. All this time that the father was in there, the detective was hoping that Trustin would give up some information on what happened.
What'd I do?
Why'd you do? I told him, just come back and stay sober, man.
Yeah, I tried.
You tried?
Trevor and, what was the other guy's name? I forgot. The pressured me into it.
Who?
Trevor, and I forgot the other guy's name.
Why didn't you just come back, or why didn't you just stay with your mom like you said?
From the first few minutes of the interrogation, it seems that Trustin has a history of getting drunk and being reckless because that's the first thing his father scolds him about. However, all this time, Trustin has sat like nothing was wrong. He seems pretty calm and even answers his father's questions as if they were any other regular questions.
What are you doing now? If you take care of what you did, you face the consequences.
Oh, then. I thought you didn't give me attitude and everything, but alright then, let's go.
Just take care of what you had to do and...
What is it? What do you know? What do you think's going on?
Trustin's father continues to scold him, and he even tells him to take responsibility for what he did. However, Trustin tells him that he thought his father would give him advice. When Trustin asks his father about what he thinks he knows, his father tells him that he has stabbed someone. However, Trustin denies this, claiming that it was a guy named Trevor who they were with. He goes on to explain that all he did was punch him.
Yeah, I just punched him over. Oh, damn, right there. And Trevor's like, I got your back, man. Because he tried to run off of my bike. That's why I punched him over. And Trevor's like, yeah. Then Trevor's the one who gave him my back. I guess you fucking think different. You think that I stabbed him.
Shortly after, Trustin gives an account of what happened, explaining everything in detail. His father then tells him that he must tell the detectives the truth and let them figure out what happened.
Huh?
I said, I'm ready to meet my maker.
I'm not ready, but I'm dying, man, because of cirrhosis. I told you, I got cirrhosis.
I'm dying too.
It seems that after his father's words, Trustin is filled with regret. This is because, shortly after explaining everything to his father, he claims that he is ready to meet his maker. He even claims that he's ready to die. The conversation goes on for what seems like hours, with Trustin answering back to his father. All this time, the police had a video recorded during the incident, but it was not enough to charge Trustin. Trustin told his story, claiming that Trevor was the one who stabbed Stephen. However, from the video it seemed different, and the police were hoping that Trustin would confess that he was the one who did it. Eventually, Trustin goes on to tell his story.
It was me, this guy named Cornelius, and these other two cats I met. They're just playing ball. Then this other guy named Levi White came up to us. You Trustin? Yeah, I'm Trustin, what's up? I'm Levi White, what's up? I was like, yeah, I know you. You're talking all that crap over Facebook all this time.
Eventually, after Trustin's father left, the detective came back in and confronted him with the evidence. However, it wasn't long before Trustin confessed that he was the one who used the knife. Since Trustin was only 17 at the time of the crime, he was sentenced to 2 years in a youth detention center and charged with voluntary manslaughter. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more thrilling videos.